Have you ever noticed how the letter K shows up everywhere when numbers get big? You see it on social media. Someone has 10K followers. You see it in salaries. Someone earns 50K a year. Even in video games and online marketplaces, prices might appear as 5K coins or 20K gold. But if you stop and think about it, it's actually a little strange. The word thousand doesn't even start with the letter K. So where did this abbreviation come from? Why didn't we use T instead? And how did a single letter become one of the most widely recognized shortcuts for numbers in the world? Today, we're going to uncover the surprisingly fascinating story behind the letter K, from ancient languages and scientific measurement systems to modern technology and internet culture, right here on History of Simple Things. The story of K for thousand begins thousands of years ago in ancient Greece. The key word here is chilioi, a Greek term meaning thousand. Over time, this word influenced many scientific and numerical terms used across Europe. From chilioi, we eventually got the metric prefix kilo, which also means 1,000. Today, the prefix kilo is used all over the metric system. For example, 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. 1 kilowatt equals 1,000 watts. The metric system was developed to create a universal and logical way of measuring things, and prefixes like kilo helped keep everything consistent. When scientists and engineers started abbreviating these terms, K became the natural shorthand for kilo and therefore for 1,000. So in many ways, the K you see today traces its roots all the way back to ancient Greek mathematics and language. The widespread use of K really took off with the adoption of the metric system in the late 18th and 19th centuries. This measurement system was designed to simplify calculations by organizing units in powers of 10. Under this system, prefixes like kilo, mega, and milli were introduced. Among them, kilo represented 1,000, and the lowercase k became the official symbol used in scientific notation. For example, 1 km equals 1,000 meters. 5 kg equals 5,000 grams. Scientists, engineers, and mathematicians began using this shorthand regularly in textbooks, calculations, and technical documents. Over time, this habit spread beyond science and into everyday life. Once people became familiar with K equals 1,000, it was only a matter of time before the abbreviation started appearing in other contexts. One of the earliest everyday uses of K outside science appeared in finance and accounting. Writing large numbers repeatedly can be time-consuming and cluttered, especially in financial records. Instead of writing $25,000, for example, accountants could simply write $25K. This saved space on documents and made large figures easier to read at a glance. By the mid-20th century, the shorthand had become common in business reports, stock market summaries, and financial discussions. If someone said a company made $100K in profit, everyone understood it meant $100,000. Eventually, the abbreviation spread into job postings and salaries as well. A job paying $60K per year quickly became a familiar way to express income without writing 5 digits. When computers began entering everyday life in the late 20th century, the letter K gained an entirely new role. Early computer engineers needed convenient ways to describe memory sizes. Because computers operate using binary numbers, memory sizes often came close to powers of 1024, which is very close to 1000. So engineers started using K to represent approximately 1000 units of data. For example, 1 KB roughly equals 1024 bytes. Although this is slightly different from the exact metric meaning of 1000, the letter K was already widely understood as representing a thousand-ish amount, so the notation stuck. As computers became more common, people began seeing KB, MB, and GB everywhere, from storage devices to internet speeds. This further reinforced the association between K and large numbers. Fast forward to today, and K has become part of everyday internet language. Social media platforms frequently use it to shorten follower counts and view numbers. Instead of showing 12,400 followers, a profile might simply display 12.4K. This makes large numbers easier to read on small screens. The same shorthand appears on video platforms, mobile games, and online marketplaces. A video might have 250K views, a post might receive 3K likes, and a digital item might cost 15K coins. Because people encounter this notation constantly online, even younger users who have never studied the metric system quickly learn that K means thousand. In a way, the internet helped transform what was once a scientific abbreviation into a global digital language. You might wonder why we don't simply use the letter T for thousand, since the word starts with that letter. The main reason is consistency with the metric system. Because kilo already represented 1,000 in scientific measurements, K had an established meaning long before the internet or modern finance adopted it. Using T would also create confusion. For example, T is often used to represent ton, Tesla, or trillion in different contexts. Sticking with K kept things simple and aligned with existing measurement conventions. So while T might seem more intuitive at first glance, K had history, international recognition, and scientific backing on its side. What looks like a simple letter actually carries a surprisingly long history. The K, used to represent 1,000 traces its origins back to ancient Greek language, was formalized through the metric system, adopted by scientists and accountants, and eventually embraced by the digital world. Today, whether you're talking about 10K followers, 50K salaries, or 4K video resolution, that single letter quietly stands in for 1,000 of something. It's a perfect example of how language, science, and technology often blend together over time. A tiny abbreviation that started with ancient mathematicians eventually became part of everyday communication across the entire world. And now the next time you see K next to a number online, you'll know there's more history behind it than just a convenient shortcut. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.